Hi, I'm James. I'm a foot and ankle specialist, and today I'm going to talk you through the best Hoka shoes for walking. These are including stability shoes, waterproof shoes, neutral shoes, and max cushion shoes. So hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a better idea of what walking shoe works best for you. So the first shoe that we're going to talk about is the Hoka 7. So this is a moderate stability shoe in the Hoka range. It's got a standard CMEVA cushioning, so it's quite balanced. So when you apply pressure to it, it gives you a nice spring back, so you don't sink into it too much. It's got stability through the J frame. So that's a frame that runs underneath the sole of the shoe on the back and then up the inside of the shoe all the way up to the forefoot. So it's unique in terms of giving you stability all the way from when you initiate contact with the ground on the heel through the midfoot all the way up to the forefoot, and it just helps to resist pronation forces moving inward. You don't feel it pushing up into your shoe, so it's not intrusive at all. So it's a nice comfortable feel, and the balanced cushioning alongside the J frame really makes for a comfortable walk. On top you've got a relatively snug toe box, so it comes in quite narrow quite early, and you can feel that, so it's available in a wider version. If you struggle with having a wider foot, that is available, but if you have a very wide foot you might struggle with the overall width of this. So some other shoes in the Hoka range that are a little bit wider, and we'll talk about them later. Overall it's got a nice woven knit on top, so it's nice and comfortable in the more recent model compared to the Rahi 6. It's got a gusseted tongue so it doesn't slip side to side. It's got a nice wide sole flare in the forefoot that increases your contact with the ground, and it's got good traction underneath on the undersole, so you can use it in wet terrain and you can also use it on mild trails. It has some decent grip on it as well. However, we have some road to trail shoes in the selection that we'll talk to you about later. So it's a great shoe if you're looking for a relatively springy shoe that has some mild to moderate stability. It's a little bit snug fit on top, but there is a wide version available, and that's the Hoka 7. Then, in terms of one of the best day-to-day walking shoes, we have the Hoka Clifton 9. So it's got a similar CMEVA cushioning that's relatively springy, gives you nice bounce back. It's designed to absolutely eat up the miles. So this shoe goes on and on. It's got super durability. It doesn't lose its springiness, so we can use it for a long period of time without any issues. Similar to the Rahi 7, it's got a 5mm drop from the back to the front of the shoe, so Hoka are renowned for having a quite low drop overall. The only slightly higher drop than that is in the Gaviota 5, and the Bondi has a 4mm drop. Otherwise, the other three shoes are 5mm. Classified as a neutral shoe overall, so it has some elements of stability, so it has some sidewalls that come up on the inside and on the outside of the shoe. They help cradle your heel, give it some stability as it initiates contact with the ground, but overall it's a neutral shoe. And then as we move on top, you've got a relatively tapered fit, so not as tapered as what you get in the Rahi, so there is some space in there, and it does come in a wider version. You've got an engineered mesh on top, a nice padded tongue, so that's nice and comfortable, that's stitched in, and you've got plenty of padding around the heel. So if you're looking for an all-rounder shoe that's quite springy, gives you great energy return when you're walking and walking at faster speeds, then you look at the Clifton 9. Then as we move to a more maximalist stability shoe, you look at the Hoka Gaviota 5. So they've made some serious changes compared to the Gaviota 4. So this is what we consider a maximalist max cushion shoe. So they provide stability in this with the H frame as opposed to the J frame that you see in the Rahi 7. So the H frame runs in through the midsole, up along either side of the shoe and across the midsole. So it provides stability on both sides of your shoe, trying to keep you centered in the shoe throughout the gait cycle. It also helps to provide extra torsional stability to the shoe so that it doesn't rotate as much. So overall it's really stable on the foot. It's complemented by nice sidewalls, a broad base of support underneath the sole of the shoe. So an excellent max stability shoe. You sacrifice a little bit in terms of weight, so it's the heaviest of all 5 shoes as a result of having that extra stability and the extra cushioning. On top, it's the most spacious Hoka shoe on the market. As you can see, it's got loads of space in the toe box. If we compare it to the Rahi 7, it's got way more space in it, and this is just a normal fit. It also comes in a wide fit. So those of you who are looking for a Hoka shoe and have always struggled with the fit, the Gaviota 5 could be the answer for you. Otherwise, it's got a nice engineered mesh on top, padded tongue, loads of padding around the heel counter. The tongue is stitched in. It's got nice traction and grip underneath, so again it can be used for mild trails, and it gives plenty of stability underfoot on wet conditions, just on day-to-day walks on tarmac and cement. So an excellent shoe if you're looking for loads of cushioning. It's a really plush fit, so you feel like you're sinking into the shoe, and you're looking for lots of stability. So that's the Hoka Gaviota 5. Then if you're looking for one of the most comfortable shoes on the market, look no further than the Hoka Bondi 8. So it's got really plush cushioning. It's got 39 mils of cushioning at the back of the shoe, and it's got 35 millimeters of cushion at the front of the shoe. So it's really, really comfortable. You just sink into the shoe when you initiate contact with the ground. You just feel like you're walking on a cloud. Really luxurious fit. So super, super comfortable overall. Because of the low drop and the nice padded underneath, it's really good for conditions like metatarsalgia or bunion pain, because it really helps absorb that vibration as you walk. On top, again, it's got Hoka's tapered fit, but it does come in a wide version. So the normal version of this is wider than the Arahi and the Clifton 9. So you've got a bit more space in there, and then you've got the option of the wider fit. It's got mild to moderate traction underneath the shoe. So it's got some nice pods that will give you traction, but not as much as what you'll get on the Speedgoat, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It's an excellent, comfortable, neutral maximalist shoe overall, and one of the most popular when it comes to the max cushioning shoe range. Then finally, we've got the Hoka Speedgoat 6 GTX. So this is a road to trail shoe that's waterproof. So it's unbelievable in terms of giving you traction on the ground, on wet surfaces, wet rocks. You can do mild, moderate or technical terrains if you're going off-road. It covers all your bases. It's also got Hoka CMEVA cushioning. It's got 40 mils of cushion at the back, 35 at the front. So you've got lots of padding underfoot. It's super comfortable. You don't sink into it as much as you do with the Bondi, so it's a little bit firmer underfoot, so a bit more similar to the Clifton 9. And it's got excellent Vibram Mega Grip outsole underneath with 5mm multi-directional lugs that gives you so much traction on any terrain. They're really comfortable on hard surfaces, so if you're using them on the road or on tarmac, not a problem at all. Really, really comfortable. It's got an engineered mesh on top with nice toe overlay to give some protection to your toe. Going to give you mild protection against branches, but nothing if you kick a big rock, something like that. It's got a very thin tongue, so the thinnest of all 5 shoes, and it's also gusseted. It's got mild to moderate padding around the heel, and it's got mild to moderate stiffness in the heel counter. It does have some sidewalls to give you some stability that makes up for the fact that it's got such a high stack, and it's got some sole flare on the forefoot again, which comes out wider than the base of your foot in the shoe, giving you extra stability and contact with the ground. So this is an excellent shoe if you want to transition from road to grass to trail. It covers all your bases and it's waterproof. The other waterproof shoes in the Hoka range is the Clifton, comes in a Gore-Tex version, which we'll link below as well. All shoes are linked in the description below. If you purchase through the links, it helps fund the channel. However, if you opt not to, just liking and sharing the video makes a big difference to us. If you have any questions on the 5 shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching.